You know what I'm saying? I can't believe they just ignored the women. How could you ignore women? No wonder they were single. Ignore the women. Never get married, brother. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what was going on there, right? But sometimes we can think we're better than them, but we're just like them. We're just like them. The fact is, we would and we do all the things that they do. The truth is, life fogs our vision, our understanding. Fogs our faith and our hope. We allow circumstances to overshadow truth. It's easy to just fall into the cycle of discouragement and depression. It's easy to lose focus on what really matters. It's easy to just give into doubts and not really take the time to try to understand what Jesus really wants from us. It's easy to forget. It's easy to walk away, to fall away from Jesus and not really seek to understand how much he loves us. It's easy to reject. It's easy to take Jesus for granted. It's easy to be misunderstood and get upset because we were misunderstood and then just quit. It's easy to misunderstand. It's easy to give up. It's easy to give in. You know what? It's just so much easier going back to the world. Just so much easier. I can go. No one's going to ask me, how you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? How are things going in your life? It's just easier to quit. But it takes no character to quit. Anyone can quit. Anyone can give up and walk away and say, you know what? This is too stinking hard. I need an easier path. In the world, nobody holds me accountable. I can listen to any music I want. I can go date any person I want. I can sleep around. I can get drunk. I can smoke pot. I can do whatever I want. I can look at porno as long as I want to. And nobody holds me accountable. We get so clouded, don't we? We make things confusing that really aren't confusing. We make things hard that really are simple because of our sin, because of our discouragement, because of past things that happened to us that hurt us, we just won't let go of. These guys were upset. They were hurt. Jesus was gone. They didn't know what to do with themselves. They were concerned. What about my life? But Jesus, as we read about it in the Bible, comes looking for us. Even when we do all these things, he comes looking. And don't you wish that you could just kind of like, surprise! He's right there, like he did with these guys. Just appear. All of a sudden you walk with someone going, this guy's pretty wise. Who is this guy? You kind of think of the whole time. Jesus? Some of you sisters are like, man, that brother I was hanging out with, he could be like Jesus. Some of you guys are thinking, that sister, she's spiritual. Maybe I'm walking next to Jesus. Right? Let's read verse 25, verse 29. Luke 24, verse 25 to 29. Jesus said to them, how foolish you are, and how slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not Christ have to suffer these things and then enter his glory? He's like, look, you know that was in the Bible. You should know this. You've forgotten. You've forgotten. You've gotten so far away from spiritual focus that you've forgotten how things were supposed to go. Verse 27, and beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus acted as if he were going further. Again, Jesus is tricking you. He's messing with these guys. I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to go further and see what they do. Sometimes Jesus puts us in situations just to see what we'll do. Just to see how we'll handle it. Sometimes he'll let you go to retreat. He'll let you hear these messages. He'll let you listen just to see how you're going to handle it. Are you going to get upset? Are you going to give up? Are you going to quit? What are you going to do? Verse 28, as they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus acted as if he were going to go further. But they urged him strongly, stay with us, for it is nearly evening. The day is almost over. So he went in to stay with them. You know what's cool about this? Is he takes time to listen to us and explain the scriptures even when we're stuck. Right. Even when we're stuck. These guys were stuck. They needed someone to help them get unstuck. They needed someone to share the truth with them and to help them understand things they did not understand. You know, you can get that way. You know, I was one time, and I've told this story. Everyone in New Jersey is sick of hearing it. But, you know, there are times in my life when I just need someone to speak the truth to me. And tell me really how it is. Because I can get stuck. You guys ever get stuck? Yeah. You feel like, man, I'm not growing, I'm not maturing, I'm not developing, I'm not becoming what I need to become. You know, my son and his friend were fishing. We used to live in Long Beach, and we were having a retreat a lot like this. Only it was on the edge of the beach. And you could look out the window and you could see the beach. And, you know, it was just this amazing spot in Long Beach where we served in the ministry there. And my friend and his son, they were out there fishing. And my son caught a seagull. He had a treble hook on there, or excuse me, it was my son's friend, caught a seagull. And I'm sitting in there and I'm going, what? I'm looking, is that what it looks like? That can't be real. So I'm like, I better get out there. So I start hustling. I used to run 4, 5, 6, 40. Okay? Not bad for a white guy, huh? So anyway, so you know, I'm booking it, baby. I cruise out there, and I'm like, whoa, okay, now this is real. I've never dealt with this in my life. What do you do with a seagull on the hook? And I thought, you know what? I got to do something here, man. So I used to be a wrestler. I wrestled 6 years. I'm taking this seagull down, baby. So I come over, and, you know, I just get on the top rope, and I come flying down. And right, man, I just get down on it. I put the seagull in a headlock, and I'm like, got you, man. He's like, and the seagull's going nuts. The seagull's freaking out. And I got them, got him in a headlock at this point. Getting ready to do some damage. But I really didn't want to hurt him. Honestly, I was just trying to get the hook out of his mouth, right? I wasn't really trying to hurt him. I just did, I want to get this hook out of his mouth. So I'm working. I get the hook out of his mouth. And then the seagull just flies away. He's happy. He's excited. That last one was joy, okay? The other one was despair, okay? So the difference between that's despair and that's happy, okay? So the seagull is flying and he's like, free! My son looked at me and he goes, Dad, you didn't realize you were trying to help him. And sometimes that's us. You've been invited to this retreat, or maybe you've been a disciple for years, and people just want to help you. And you're sitting there, and you're freaking out, you know what I mean? You're going nuts! And they're just trying to get the hook out of your mouth so that you can fly spiritually. But Jesus is trying to get a look at these guys. He's just trying to help them. He took the time to listen to them and explain the scriptures. You know, he wants to listen and understand all of us. But he's got to speak the truth to us, doesn't he? Yeah. He's got to speak the truth. You know, the relationship that Jesus wants is more than just laying out the truth. He wants to spend time with you. You know, I love this. In verse 29, it says, it was nearly evening and the day was almost over. But they had been with Jesus from early in the morning, and now it was the end of the day. Jesus had spent the day with these guys. He wasn't just looking to get in, bark out a few scriptures, and then I'm in, I'm out, I blow in, I blow up, I blow out. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Jesus wanted a relationship with these guys. And he wants a relationship with you. And he's willing to take the time to teach you, to train you. But I know it's going to be hard for me. These guys literally walked with him. They saw him. They smelled him. They walked next to him. Right? And they still had these challenges. So we're going to experience those challenges. Yeah. That's just real. That's just real. But we can get so caught up in the challenges and the difficulties of life that we become so blind and distant to what God is trying to teach us. These guys were blinded. They were blinded. But it's great to know that Jesus was there, right? It's great to know he didn't give up on them. That is good news, isn't it? Isn't that good news? I love hearing good news in the church. You know, we live in such a fast-paced society, and it's just, you know, we can get so caught up in what we're doing that we really forget that Jesus just wants us to spend time with him. He just wants to help develop us and train us and teach us and mold us and shape us and give us all the dreams and passions that we really want, but he wants us to do it in a way where we don't hurt ourselves. You can still do great things in your career, but do it with God. You can still live out your dreams, but do it with God. Some of us need to give up our dreams because they're worldly. And you need to surrender those dreams and trust that God will give you better dreams. Amen. But you'll never know if you don't take the time to walk with Jesus. Some of us feel alone. Let me tell you, it's not because God has abandoned you. It's because you've abandoned God. Let me say that again. Some of us feel alone. And it's not because God has abandoned you. It's because you've abandoned God. And he's like waiting for you. He's waiting. Well, where was God when Mom and Dad walked out on us when I was young? And my parents left when I was 3. Or my mom left when I was 3. Left my dad with a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old. Never came back to live with us. We ended up